Welcome back, Android Studio coders. We are now at our live demo inside Android Studio. I have here a prepared relative layout demo with a text view inside it. So, as have been discussed in the previous video, uh, we have shown you that a text view can be created using two modes. You can drag it from the palette here, can click this one, or you can if you don't see text view immediately here, you can click text here on the category of widget items here. Click text and you can immediately text view at the top. So you can click this and drag it here, so we can drag it like this, and we have another text view in addition to the existing text view. And so let's just delete everything. Okay, so as you can see, it's also deleted inside your text editor, so you can go back and forth between your design view by clicking design here and clicking text. So you can do that. So let's go back to design view or design tab, and let's click text view, and then after you click, you hold down the left part of the mouse and drag it there and release. So there's your text view, and if you go to your text editor, then there's your text view again. So if you want to center your text view here at design tab, you could just click and wait for the cursor to become a small hand like that, pointing hand, and drag it like this. If you see the line, the broken line, it means it's centered horizontally. And if you see both lines, that means it's centered horizontally and vertically, and then you release the left part of the mouse. Okay, so there you have your text view, and let's make it bigger. You can make the font size bigger through this attributes pane here. You could set the text size here like that, or you could go directly to your text editor. For me, as a seasoned coder in Android Studio, I usually go to the text editor. So just type text size, and you can find a lot of choices here. So enter for the text size, and you can go, for example, 30 sp. I think that's big enough for us to see. Okay, let's make it 35. Okay, so you can also do that in the attributes pane. So you click text view and you go to text size here. If you don't see this immediately, that means you have to click somewhere below the show all attributes. For example, it's showing pure attributes like that. So the attributes pane or column is showing just the basic attributes here. So if you don't see the attribute that you need, you click view all attributes here down at the bottom, click this, and you can see everything here. So you go to text size, you have text size here. It's not showing. Where's the text size? Okay, it's not in here. So sometimes this attributes pane does not behave as you expect it, so you can just go to the text editor, but usually it's here. Okay, let's see text size. It's not in here. Okay, why is it that way? So you can click this one. So if you don't see the attribute, no worries, you can go to your text editor. So we have set the text size here to 35 sp. Okay, let's see that again. It's not in here. Okay, so we have set the text size to 35 sp. That's why it is bigger. Okay, so there are instances that you want to create your text view. Instead of dragging from here, you just create it from inside your text editor. So if we delete this one, you can recreate it here manually. So just use the less than sign for your opening tag, and you can look for the different types of tags here. You have image view, linear layout, and there you have your text view, and you also have relative layout, button, and so on. So you can type it or just click this one, click text view, and the closing tag is also provided for you. Okay, so that's the other mode of doing it, but you can just type everything like that, text view. Okay, but it's better if you allow Android Studio to deal with autocomplete so that it also puts the closing tag for you, so you save on typing time. So since the autocomplete is here, you can choose the things that you want. Since we want text view, just click text view, and there we have it again. Everything is completed for us except for the parameter or the value that you pass inside these double quotes for the layout underscore width and for the layout underscore height. So you specify. So in here we can see it yet because there's no text. So let's put a text here. So text is, for example, we hard code it hello. So we don't see it yet because we have not specified this missing value. Width and height are required. So width can be match parent, or if match parent, then the width occupies the entire length. So no height yet, so it's not yet showing. So we provide for the height, so we just set wrap content. So we can see it here. If we click this one, we can see that it's occupying the entire width. Although we can just see, if we don't click it, the value that's in it. Okay. So it's occupying the entire width. So for us to see the width, we provide a color background. So we can make the text of since the text is dark, we can make the background light. So or we can just, since we can make our layout dark here. So we provide a background color for a layout. We can use primary dark. So it's like that. So you cannot see this anymore because it's the color of the text is black. So we can change the background of the text view. So background, we can set it to let's just use a color that is white. So the symbol for white as in HTML code is number sign and 6F. Okay, so you can see it's white now. So you can see that the text view is occupying the entire width of the parent, same width as the parent, since we have set the width to match the parent. The keyword is match underscore parent. Okay, so let's make the text as, let's set the text color to the same as the background of, or instead of the primary dark, let's just use color primary. It's also a dark blue. Okay, so you can see here that since we use match parent, it's occupying the entire space of the width of the parent. If we set this to wrap content, the width, then it would just occupy the it would just wrap to the length of the text of your text view. So you see the difference now. Okay, but if we set height to match the parent, it would match the height of the parent. Okay, so it's there. Your text view is the same height as the parent. So you can see now how the attributes affect the text view. So let's just set it to wrap content, and for the width, match parent. I think it's better that way. And let us center the text of the text view. So center horizontal, and we get it that way. So what's the next thing that I should be showing you here is how the text view. So this is already showing you that you can hard code the text that would be shown on the text view. So let's just use hello world here, in line with the tradition of using the text hello world the first time we program things. whether it be in Java, Android, and Visual Basic. Okay, so let's not break with tradition here. So we have hello world here. But what if I want this to be instead coming from a string? So in order to go to your strings folder, make sure that you have here project files, or you click this symbol here and make sure you are at Android. So click Android, and if it's not yet showing, it's just like this. Just click this one and it would show all the folders below it, and click this rest folder. It represents resources inside this folder. So you have your drawable resources. These are usually XML or image files, and you have our layout here, which is this one. This is our layout, and you have map. Usually these are PNG files that represents the symbol of the app inside your phone. Usually these are picked up by your Android phone to become the symbol of the app, or the icon of the app in front of your phone. Okay, so but what we're interested is this values folder. This values folder contains the XML for the colors, the strings, and the styles. But what we are concerned of is the strings. So we have here strings for the app name. Actually, this is default when we created the app, but we can change this one if we want to. Okay, so just to show you, this is the app name being picked up by your notification bar. If we change this, we put a space instead of camel case. If you click back, it's already reflected. If it's not yet reflected, you just close that one and you open again your layout, so it's reflected immediately. This is important because in our programs we usually want each of the screen to have the name of the app. So if it's hard coded, then we have to change it in every part of our layout. So by default, every layout, every activity picks up the app name, so we don't need to program that. But how about if, for example, you have a couple of for example, this is the title of the page, and you use this title for every part of the screen that you have. For example, you have a couple of layouts or activities. So let's make another activity here so that we have two activities. Example, if we have a new activity, just go with the empty activity. So let's just use main2 here and click finish, and let's create a text view here. So if we have a text view here, okay, so for uniformity, let's just copy. Let's convert this to relative layout so we have the same result. Okay, so it's now relative layout. Let's copy the code here. Okay, you should have just copied this one because it's the same code that we want. Just copy the entire thing, copy, and you go to activity main2, Control A, and then Control Paste. So we have this one. For example, if we go to, since this is both hard coded, for example, you have more than two. Example, you have 10 of these pages, and you want to change this to just hello, and you have to go to all those pages to change the hard coded text. So right now it's hard coded. So if we change this to hello, we go to the two layouts and change them. But if this is not hard coded, for example, we just referred to the string, we already have a string here. Okay, for demo purposes, let's remove this and recreate it. So negative symbol string, and it's asking for the name because this is required, and let's just write the same name, hello, and then provide for hello world value. Okay, so if we want this to be different. For example, let's just change this to @string slash hello. So if you go to your design, it's picking up this. So let's go back here. If let's just leave this one hard coded. So if you want to change it to just hello with the exclamation point, we go here. For this, we don't have to type. We just go to the strings.xml and change this hello string to the value that we want or the text that we want. If you go to activity 2, then it's changed to hello with the exclamation point. But your activity main, since you have hard coded it, it does not change. And so what if you have a lot of this? It's very difficult to maintain. So it is suggested as a standard programming way of doing things in Android Studio in order for you to standardize your code and in order for you to really be able to easily debug your code. It's better if you get the string from the strings.xml instead of hard coding them. But so we see here it's not yet changed, but if we just refer this to the string name @string hello, then by default it picks up the value of that string resource. Okay, so we have already discussed this extensively. So you have seen now how we are able to load a value inside your strings.xml. Let's make this bigger so you can see it better. So let's set the text size to 50 sp. Okay, so it's bigger now, and let's do the same for our next activity. So text size, you don't need to type Android here. Autocomplete would take care of it so that you save on time. And 50 sp. Okay, so it's big now. So let's change this just to demonstrate it further. I should have changed it earlier. So if we make this hello world again, okay, then it's hello world here, so as this other layout. Okay, but what if we hard code this one? Of course it won't change. Or for example, it's hard coded to hello, then this is hello. So, and no matter what changes you have here, hello world, for example, you make this 3 exclamation point. For activity 2, it reflects the changes, but activity underscore main, the first layout, does not change. But if you change that again to refer to that string, then the changes is reflected based on what's the value inside your strings.xml. So let's see on our slide if we have not missed anything. Okay, so we have here hard coded and from a string resource. Okay, we have tackled this, we have tackled that, and so on. View. But before I forget, I would like to show you a trick that that would be important for you when you deal with very long code inside your text view. For example, here I would just show first the hard coded part. What if you have very lengthy text here? So I have already shown you how this works, but before I make my closing remarks, I would just like to show you a trick that you can do for you to be able to properly format if you have multiple lines of text that you want to be put on your text view. For example, let's just show first a hard-coded string. So for example, you have here hello world, but you want another text, another line. So for example, you don't need to put a space because it's another line, but for for it to be readable, you put a space and \n. So this \n, sorry, this should still belong within the double quotes. So you have space and then \n means another line. You put this thing in another line. So for example, nice day to you. Then if you go back, then it's another line, nice day to you. Okay, so and you still have another line to put. You can say it's sunny. Okay, so you have a third line there, and you can make this readable by pressing new line here, and it does not affect what's displayed here. Actually, it affects what's displayed here in your layout, but if you run this one, actually it has no effect. Okay, so okay, there you have it. It actually does not really affect much here. So let's put some padding. Okay. Actually, it's not padding. It should be margin for our purposes. Okay, so there you have it. What if we do not do this, and let's just put it on the same line? Okay, so what would be the effect on our emulator? Of course, here you can see it like this. And what about the effect on the actual emulator, which is the same effect if we have our actual phone? So let's check. So it's still important that you test the look and feel, not just on your design of your Android Studio, but also in the emulator, or more better if in an actual phone. So it's there. Hello world, nice day to you, it's sunny. Actually, it just goes down because this U, because the space is not enough. So we can change the text size to something lower. Okay, so you have that, and let's check this. This is just on the same line here, and let's check the effect. Okay, there you have it. If we put it down here, what would happen? Still the same here in the emulator, but if you go to design, you seem to have a space there, but actually in the emulator or in your actual phone, it would not show. Although I see some that it's the same indentation as the hello world. Let's test if we go back to the top here as one line. Okay, if the indentation would be different. I think it would be different if it's so. Okay, it's not the same indentation now. So putting it on the second line in your XML have an effect on how it's displayed here. So if you don't want that to happen, you just put that on the same line. You just type so on, and then just put a \n before the text that you want displayed, like this. So so that fairly demonstrates this additional tip that I have for you in case you have more than one line to show, or a lengthier text to show in your text view. So thanks for watching this video. In the next video, I would be showing you guys and gals how to load a text coming from a text file into a text view. So that would be really interesting, right? Because a text file is somewhat of some sort of a database where you put your data. Although that's really not yet the database that most programmers really refer to. Others are referring to usually SQL databases and online databases like Firebase. But it's a good thing to be able to show how to load values coming from a text file into your Android screen. So see you on the next video.